Hello everyone and welcome to QE. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to register to vote. There are two versions of the register: the electoral and the open register. The electoral register is used only for electoral purposes, calling people for jury service, preventing and detecting crime, and checking applications for credit. Everyone's name and address will be on the full version of the electoral register, and you cannot opt out unless you qualify for exceptions, which I will cover later in this video. The open register is available for general sale and can be used for commercial activities such as direct marketing. Your name and address will appear on the electoral register, but you have the choice to opt out of the open register. You'll be able to register to vote if you're a British, Irish or European Union citizen. You can also register if you are a Commonwealth citizen, and you can do so at any time of the year. Register to vote on the national website at .gov.uk. Register to vote and tick a box to request that a postal vote application is sent to you. You can opt to have the form emailed, or otherwise the form will be sent by post. You can download and print paper forms from the gov.uk website. You don't need to register to vote before every election, although you do need to re-register to vote again if you've moved house recently or you've changed your name for any reason. You can re-register at registertovote.service.gov.uk. Register to vote, country of residence. If you are uncertain about whether you are registered, then you need to check with your local electoral registration office. You can find the contact details for your local registration office by entering your postcode on the Electoral Commission website. .gov.uk. Contact Electoral Registration Office. Now vote the exceptions to the rule. If you are 16 or 17 years old and will be 18 years within the life of the electoral registration, then you should register. If an election is called and you are not 18 at that time, then you will not qualify to vote. However, if an election is called and you are then 18, you will be able to vote. Each voter is now responsible for their registration. Don't assume your parents will have done it for you. Your registration lasts for as long as you live at the address you are registered at. If you move home, you need to apply to register at your new address. You can also register to vote even if you are homeless or don't have a fixed address. You can use the address of somewhere you spend a lot of your time, like a day center or night shelter, a friend's place or somewhere outdoors. You will need to fill in a form called the Declaration of Local Connection at .gov.uk. Government, Publications, Register to vote. If you haven't got a fixed or permanent address, you can get this form from your electoral registration office. Or you can download and print the form. You may be able to get help filling it in from your local homelessness support services. You can return this to your electoral registration office by hand, by post or by email. You may be able to register anonymously if you are concerned about your name and address appearing on the electoral register because you think that it could affect your safety or the safety of someone in the same household as you. At gov.uk government publications, register to vote anonymously. You will need to explain why your safety or the safety of someone in the same household as you would be at risk if your name and address appeared on the electoral register. Provide a court document or an attestation from an authorized person to support your application. If you registered anonymously, your name and address will not appear on the electoral register, and you will not be included on any registration form sent to your address. Your electoral registration office will contact you separately, and you will still be able to vote. You will need to still fill in this electoral registration form and make sure you sign the declaration. Then provide evidence to support your application. Return your completed form and the relevant evidence. Contact your electoral registration office if you need any help understanding or completing this form, or if you need this form in large print or another format. It's sometimes possible to register at 2 addresses, though you can only vote once in any election. For example, if you're a student with different home and term time addresses, you may be able to register at both. You can opt out of the open register. This is the version of the register that's available to anyone who wants to buy a copy. To opt out, use the Register to Vote service. Even if you're already registered, contact your local electoral registration office. Opting out does not affect your right to vote. When you opt out of the open register, your details will still appear on the full version of the electoral register. The open register is the version that's available to anyone who wants to buy a copy. You must register if you're asked to do so, and you meet the conditions for registering. For example, if you're 16. If you're required to register and do not, you could be fined. You will not be fined if you have a valid reason for not registering, for example, a long stay in the hospital, or you have severe learning difficulties. From July each year, electoral registration offices, EROs, contact households to check if the details on the electoral register are correct. This is called the annual canvass. You will be contacted by post, email, phone, or by someone knocking on your door. If you have any questions, comment below to let me know, and I do my best to answer them. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to give us a like. New here, why not subscribe? And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a future video. And I'll see you in the next one.